Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I pick 5 players that I think will score 4 points or more in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. If you enjoy the Point Predictor series, then be sure to support the channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed to FPL TV. Before we check out my Point Predictor picks for Game Week 10, let's quickly see how my choices from last Game Week performed. So, a very respectable 3 out of 5 correct picks last week, which is a big improvement on Game Week 8's effort. The big hitters Aguero and Salah both delivered for me, and I was very happy to see my tip on Bellerin pay off, who, after an own goal early in the game, ended up getting 2 assists and a bonus point. It was my budget picks that let me down though, so let's move on to Game Week 10's choices now, and see if I can get those right for this upcoming weekend. My defensive option this week goes to Marcos Alonso. Alonso's attacking threat has dipped significantly of late, which is also evident in the defender's stats. However, 2 of his last 3 fixtures have been against Liverpool and United, big games where he's perhaps been asked not to venture forward too much. Alonso now faces Burnley in Game Week 10, a match that seems suitable to produce at either end of the pitch. The stats suggest that Burnley are currently the least attacking home team, producing the fewest goal attempts at home in the Premier League with 35. This means Chelsea do have a chance of a clean sheet here, who themselves have been pretty solid defensively, conceding the 3rd least shots on target since the start of the season. Burnley, on the other hand, have conceded the 2nd most shots on target, so perhaps Alonso can return to his usual attacking self here. My budget midfield choice for Game Week 10 goes to Pereyra of Watford. This selection was a bit of a gut instinct pick for me this week, with Watford being at home to a struggling Huddersfield, and Pereyra being known to play far better at his own ground. Granted, he is quite a patchy player, and following a strong start, went through a dry spell of 5 games without any returns. But to be fair, 3 of those were against Arsenal, United and Tottenham, so not the easiest set of fixtures on paper. The Argentine did return to form last game week though, with a goal away to Wolves, so he is taking a bit of form into this very favourable fixture. With opponents Huddersfield currently conceding 11 goals in 4 away games this season, the bottom line was I simply had to select one Watford player this week, and I settled on Pereyra because of his certainty to start and his likeliness to play 90 minutes. My any priced midfielder this week sees me stick with last week's choice, Mohamed Salah. Given the fixture, this pick was almost a certainty from the get-go, but with other option Hazard a slight injury concern, it simply solidified my choice. The Egyptian heads into this nice fixture with 3 goals in his last 2 games in all competitions, with the winning goal against Huddersfield and 2 goals in the Champions League midweek. He's also been very reliable when at home this season, only blanking in 1 of the 4 games at Anfield so far, that game being against Manchester City. Opponents Cardiff currently have the league's 2nd worst defensive record, conceding 19 goals in 9 games. And they've not fared well against the top 6 so far, losing to Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs and Man City, conceding 13 in just those 4. Of course, with all this hype, it'll probably end up in heartbreak, but Mo Salah just seems to be the obvious choice for this game week. My budget forward option this week goes to Callum Wilson of Bournemouth. At his bargain price of 6.5 million, the English striker has been very consistent FPL-wise, producing attacking returns in 6 of the opening 9 game weeks. He may not have hit the ground running goal-scoring wise, with just 1 in his last 7 appearances, but he has been an excellent provider so far, with 7 assists to his name already, a very impressive tally. Bournemouth now face Fulham in Game Week 10, a side who are conceding goals for fun at the moment, 25 to be exact, with 12 of these coming in just their last 3 games. So clearly there's some serious defensive problems here, and an informed Bournemouth will be looking to exploit that. My any priced forward this game week sees Alexandre Lacazette make his debut in the Point Predictor this season. Arsenal may be away from home in Game Week 10, but Lacazette owners will be happy to hear that Arsenal are actually the league's highest scorers away from home, with a very impressive 12 goals on the road so far. Prior to his blank in Game Week 9, Lacazette had produced FPL returns in all 5 previous games that he started in, so the Frenchman has been in very consistent form since breaking back into the side. Given this good form, it was pretty certain that Lacazette would continue to start for Arsenal against Palace this weekend, but with him being benched in the Europa League on Thursday, that can only give us further assurances that he's a guaranteed starter for Game Week 10, and it's good that he's coming into this match rested. His opponents Palace have been very poor at home this season, failing to score a single goal there and picking up one measly point. So if Arsenal continue to put on displays like they have of late, Lacazette looks to have a very good chance of getting some points here. So that wraps up my 5-point predictor picks for Game Week 10. Let me know what you think of my choices and who you think will score 4 points or more this weekend. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider supporting my channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed to FPL TV. I wish you all the very best for Game Week 10, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all next week.